Chris Simms, Pro Football Live co-host, Bleacher Report NFL analyst, former NFL quarterback, joins us here in the Man Cave. Good to see you again.
Good to see you. I like your haircut, man. You're looking good.
Looking younger, I think. That's what you're trying to do.
Yeah, I hear you.
That's what the kids say. All right. We were just talking before the commercial ended, and that is that we see how great these kids are now in high school, even junior high, grade school. I wonder if we're going to have quarterbacks who have 15, 16, 17, 18-year careers because it feels like there's always going to be another quarterback you can get at a cheaper price.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting conversation. I mean, because we're in the era right now of the franchise quarterback is bigger than the head coach, and he's really second on the pecking order to really the owner. But I think I agree with you just because of this, really. Football, I think we're finally seeing, it's been the most popular sport in America for the last, let's say, 35, 40 years at least. And I think you're seeing with all the specialized training kids are doing at this day and age, and it's 7-on-7 camps, and my little boy's 8 years old and playing flag football already and throwing the ball around and doing all that. Quarterbacks are better than ever, physically ready to play more than ever. Just jump right in. You can have success, whether it's the Carson Wentzes or the Russell Wilsons or, even Joe Flacco took his team to the playoffs as a rookie, all of that. It's going to be interesting, too, because we're seeing that these franchise quarterbacks and their contracts they're messing up how you build a team. And we've seen teams built that can go to the Super Bowl like the Eagles last year with quarterbacks on rookie contracts. And I do wonder if that happens because this year, listen, I haven't studied the quarterbacks coming out in the draft this year, but I know who the top ones are. And you're going to have another 4 or 5 first rounders again this year. I mean, it's going to be a wave of guys every year that have franchise quarterback superstar potential. And I think, your thoughts there could be interesting going forward.
Well, that's why I wonder if like Derek Carr is already on the clock in Oakland.
It seems like that.
I just can't imagine that he's going to be their quarterback when they get to Vegas. A couple of weeks ago, we had questions about Dak Prescott moving forward. I still don't know if he's a franchise quarterback. He's a bargain now.
Yes.
But after next year, is he a bargain at $100 million?
Yeah, I would say no. I mean, as of right now, and I really like Dak Prescott, but I'm not paying him $25 million a year right now from what I've seen the last 2 years and even this year. And it's been good. Don't get me wrong. But, yeah, I think that'll be interesting. Derek Carr, too. Yeah. This year, I don't think they're going to give up on him quite yet. I'll say this because the offensive coordinator there under Gruden is Greg Olson, and he was there in Oakland when they drafted Derek Carr originally. So I think he has a little more backing there. But next year will be the big year. Like, yeah, if he doesn't perform next year, you might be right. He might not be there in Vegas. Yeah, I'd be interested to see what Dallas does. Dak Prescott, the Cowboys, that offense, it's going to continue to struggle. They need to go Seattle like 5 years ago. Russell Wilson, beast mode, shotgun, quarterback design runs, read options, bootlegs, play action passes. Their receivers are not good enough. Their drop back pass game is not schematically creative enough to where they're going to win that type of football game. So play defense, play like the 2013 Seattle Seahawks. I think that's their best chance to win a game.
How did everybody miss? Not everybody, but how did most people miss on Patrick Mahomes?
I didn't. Did you know that? Just so you know.
Well, you're there with me.
Okay, good. I like that.
I'm the one watching Texas Tech football against Oklahoma State on Saturday afternoon.
I think that's the problem, though, right there. I think that was the first issue. When I first came out and made a video like right after the NFL season had ended and we're getting towards combine time and I'm evaluating quarterbacks, I'm going, okay, here we go, the combine. I got to catch up on the draft. What the hell's going on? Who are the guys? And Mahomes was one of the first guys I turned on. I went on to Bleacher Report and broke him down and we had a little video of his highlights. And I said, this guy's special. Like, this is Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre type special. And I even had then NFL coach friends like, oh, you're crazy. It's Texas Tech. It's not, he's not ready to play in the NFL. And I was going, man, this is not the same old Texas Tech. This is not like he's throwing 10 bubble screens and has 100 yards off the bubble screen that he hasn't thrown. This was him making the system. It was him making big-time throws. And I think the emblem on the helmet and their offense kind of hurt his overall, what do I want to say? Just how great he was or how he was looked at. His perception was the word I was looking for there as far as a top 10 quarterback.
Well, you're breaking him down as a former quarterback. I only answered a phone call from a friend who's an NFL scout who said, keep an eye on Mahomes. He's going to be the guy moving up the draft.
Yeah.
And then I came in and told the Danettes, I said, let's get Mahomes on.
Yeah.
And they were like, why? I go, he's the guy coming up. He's moving up.
Yes.
And it's going crazy here.
It was special. Like when you watch this film, I mean, first of all, he threw 41 touchdown passes and I believe 10 interceptions. So it's not like he was like some reckless gunslinger.
But that was the label.
I know. That's it's unfair. It was
like you think Favre was a gunslinger and made bad decisions. Wait till you get a load of this guy.
Right. Because he had like 3 passes the whole year where he took some chances and it didn't look good. But those 3 mistakes. But let's forget about the 97 other awesome plays that nobody else in college football could make and not try to build on that. And I think that's what Andy Reid saw. Everything I know, and maybe I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure he was the number 1 player on the Saints board that year.
Well, no, I was told the Saints were going to take him.
The Saints are going to take him. Exactly right. And I think Sean Payton's admitted it.
No, he did. When I had him on, I said, were you taking Mahomes? And he goes,
yeah.
Yeah. So if our guy wasn't there, we were taking Mahomes.
Right.
But imagine that if you're Brees.
I know.
Like you're bringing in Mahomes and he's ready to play now. But I still think that the fact that Andy Reid said, I got a guy who's playing at a pretty high level in Alex Smith.
Yes.
This guy makes this completely different because now we've opened up the entire field.
Right. I think that's the point. I think that's the thing you see with great quarterbacks and great offenses. They make you defend every square inch of the field. And Kansas City right now, through the first 6 weeks or 7 weeks, whatever week we're on here, is like, I've never seen a team that makes you defend more of the field because of his ability to throw 70-yard bombs, added to the fact that Tyreek Hill's got such great speed, the run game they got. Then it's Travis Kelce underneath. Kansas City's a lot of fun to watch, and they're not going to disappear from this. They're going to stay the course and be one of the best teams in the AFC.
Yeah. I have concerns, obviously, about the defense.
Of course.
And this is what I wondered.
Yeah.
Watching last night with Arizona, as bad as Arizona is.
Right.
If I'm Kansas City, I call about Patrick Peterson. Because now all of a sudden, if I get Patrick Peterson, if I get, Eric Berry back, okay, now at least the back end of my defense is pretty solid, pretty respectable.
Exactly.
Now all of a sudden, I got a little bit more well-rounded team.
Yeah.
I would be if I can get Patrick Peterson and I'm the Chiefs, man, I'd certainly make a run at it.
I would certainly investigate that as well because that you're right. The concern is the defense and especially the back end. They have some admirable front 7 guys with D Ford, Justin Houston, Chris Jones is a beast in the middle. The middle linebacker play. But yeah, I worry about them being able to match up against teams like we saw in the Patriots, big moments. So they have enough guys that can go one-on-one and make a stop. And their corner play is below average. And I mean, Arizona's got to be thinking like, come on, they're the worst team in football. It's rebuild. You're getting towards the end of Patrick Peterson's, prime. He's probably even on the downslope. He is on the downslope just to a degree. Still awesome, but I would try to get something to build your team for the future.
He's 28.
Right.
I mean, that's not ancient.
No, it's not ancient.
But if I can get him for 4 years.
Exactly right.
And you're Kansas City, and you got Mahomes in his prime with that rookie contract,
and you're in the Super Bowl window right now. I mean, they're in it. Don't wait for 3 years from now when the window's about to close, and then go, oh, let's make a move, and then you go, oh man, we only got 1 year here left in the window. Make it now. Do it.
Another thing I thought of with Jared Goff, and we love to have that rush to you're great or you're bad.
Yes.
And Jared Goff, we did a disservice. Jeff Fisher doesn't do offense well.
No, he does not.
Sean McVay does offense extremely well.
Right.
You get the right, this as a former quarterback, the right system. If Mahomes is playing in Buffalo, we're not marveling at Patrick Mahomes.
No, it's exactly right. I mean, the 2 Joshes who are rookie quarterbacks this year, don't expect anything special from them. There's no way. They got no chance to succeed. I don't care who you are, playing behind those offensive lines, lack of really top-end talent at the wide receiver position. There's too much to overcome. They're young. They're going to make mistakes. I see big potential for both of them, certainly, but don't look at their stat line and try to judge them off that because that's not fair.
Talking to Chris Simms, joining us on loan from Bleacher Report, also Pro Football Talk Live with Mike Florio. Bill Belichick was asked about Khalil Mack, and could you is Khalil Mack similar to Lawrence Taylor? I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah.
And, Belichick, I wouldn't compare anybody to Lawrence Taylor.
Lawrence Taylor.
All right. So your dad obviously played with LT.
Yeah.
How much did you know about LT growing up? How old were you at the time?
Well, I mean, I was one of those kids that when I was like 4 years old, anybody would tell you I knew every name and every number on every guy on the team. I was kind of the football whiz kid. So when I was 4, 5, 6 years old, I was very aware that Lawrence Taylor was the best player on the Giants and the best player in the NFL, maybe.
He didn't babysit you, did he?
He did not babysit me.
Your dad's not going to
No, there's some great stories.
Did you babysit Lawrence Taylor?
There's some great stories that a lot I can't tell. The ones I do tell always that are the funniest is, Lawrence used to come to the house very early in the morning, whether he was up really early or out all night, I'm not sure. But he would call the house and, I'd say this happened 2 or 3 times, and he would end up in the front of our house in the driveway asking Dad for clubs, golf clothes, and Dad was going to make him an appointment or a tea time at Dad's country club, and he'd go over there, and that became 2 or 3 time thing where I could hear my mom down the hallway like, "Hi, Lawrence. Yeah, he's right here." And we're all asleep.
Did he show up at your house in handcuffs?
No, he did not.
Did not.
No, there are some stories like that out there. I think that maybe at a team meeting, like I heard Carl Banks tell this a little while ago.
He showed up in
at
handcuffs.
A team meeting. Yes, right. I think he was.
But he didn't get arrested. It was something else.
He was having fun with maybe a companion upstairs in his hotel
with handcuffs,
and they lost the key.
Oh my God!
Right.
But I wouldn't compare anybody with Lawrence Taylor. I know there have been great defensive players. In fact, when I said this yesterday, I had a couple of friends who said, "Man, you're forgetting about Mean Joe Green." And I said, "No, what LT created a position on the field.
Yeah,
an edge linebacker."
Right.
An edge rushing linebacker.
A game changer.
Yeah.
A game changer. I mean, like a guy that was 30, 40 years ahead of his time. And, my dad always said it like this, because he goes, LT's maybe like one of 5 people that truly changed the game of football. And I was like, well, what do you mean by that? And he goes, in the old days, when the linebacker was on the end of the line of scrimmage, you said, "Hey, back, you block him." And he ended that. They were like, Joe Gibbs and the Redskins were like, "We can't ask our back to block that guy." So the tackle started having to slide out there. Right.
Yeah.
Or they would put a tight end over there to also make it even harder to double team him. So he had to go around the edge a little farther. But between my father and I've even heard Bill Belichick talk about him before. I mean, Lawrence is one of the freakiest athletes in the history of football. He was 6'3", 254 pounds. Dad saw him run a 4.5 on grass and cleats. So I think you talk about that. He also wasn't necessarily like a made-up athlete. That's another thing Dad says. You see Khalil Mack and them, they're lifting weights, and like Dad would say, he did the opposite of working out. I mean, he didn't work out. He was just a naturally 6'3", 255-pound guy who had incredible speed and power.
Something's happening with this Bears-Patriots game because it's only 3 points.
Yeah.
And I don't know how healthy Khalil Mack is.
Right.
Now, I like the Bears a lot this year.
Me too.
I think they're a playoff team. Mm-hmm. Are you sold on the Patriots as the best team in the AFC?
Not sold. Not sold on that.
But who is...
Yeah.
Kansas City proved they can go into New England and play with them.
Right. I mean, yes.
The Ravens can go in there and play with them.
Right.
But it still feels like it's New England.
I mean, if it comes down to a one-game scenario and then they're in the AFC Championship game, I'm probably going to take New England. I don't care where it's at, even if it's in Kansas City. You're right. So, But I think it's very close. Like, who's to say if that game the other night wasn't in Kansas City that the Chiefs don't win by 3 points? You do have to take in, home field advantage and the crowd and the ability for the offense not to maybe do some of the checks at the line of scrimmage because of the noise. And you don't want to, put too much on the offensive line, communicating and all that. But yes, it seems like New England is rearing into form. But you're right. The Ravens are scary. I think the Chargers are scary too. The Chargers defense has caught up to what their offense is now too and been playing better the last few weeks. I would say watch out for them.
Well, I like the Chargers. I picked them to go to the Super Bowl. They're better than Kansas City, in my opinion, because they're more balanced. And I think when Bosa gets back, then I think that they're a better team than Kansas City.
Probably. I mean, as a complete team, they are. The pressure, though, that Kansas City can put on you on the offensive side of the football can change the way you have to play as a team, too. So I think that's where it's fascinating. I mean, if Kansas City gets the ball, and this is where they dropped the ball the other night. They made a stop on the first drive of the game and then didn't go down to get points, you know? And you just go, when they can get up first and then make you play, oh, you got to play the catch-up game with us, they're right in their element, and they're going to go, all right, let's have a shootout, and let's see if you can mess with us. And I like their chances most of the time there.
What did you make of Jalen Ramsey all of a sudden forgetting how to speak after they got blown out by Dallas?
Yeah, it's a humbling experience for the Jaguars. I mean, I love Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah, he's got it. Come on.
But
if he wins, he's not shutting up here.
Probably not. No.
You talked the talk. You didn't walk the walk.
No, exactly right. So, and, you know, yes, man up, take the questions. Say we got to play better, you know, take some blame yourself. I didn't even like what he said about Tyreek Hill a few weeks ago. I thought that was kind of demeaning.
They say he's a specialist.
Yeah, I mean, or he's a weapon. Like, isn't that what a receiver is supposed to be? Last time I checked, I want my receiver to be a weapon. I mean, Hill's special.
Is anybody faster than Tyreek Hill in the game?
I don't think so.
Like, I think he gets to top-end speed faster than anybody.
Right.
I don't know if he's the fastest, but I think he gets there. There are a lot of these guys. Would you want speed or quickness at wide receiver?
Ooh, it's a really good question. I guess speed, if you made me choose, I would choose speed. Just because the speed factor with a guy you can throw outside, right? You can just put him outside. It's going to open him up on so many other routes because DBs are always going to go, I'm worried about him running the go route. And then he puts the brakes on and he runs the curl route or he runs the comeback route. And all that's predicated on the fear of the speed going downfield.
But didn't you say Tyreek Hill's the best receiver in the game?
Best receiver in football right now. If you made me choose, I'm taking Tyreek Hill. If you want me, you go, hey, you could throw a go route to any receiver in football. I go, I'm taking number 10 from the Chiefs. You go, you could throw a slant route to one receiver in football. I go, I'm taking Tyreek Hill and the Chiefs. If you go, let me have one of those little, you know, in vogue quarterback shuffle, flip with the speed sweep looking plays, I'm taking Tyreek Hill. Yeah, he might not be the most nuanced runner, route runner like some of the other guys, but he is a threat to score an 80-yard touchdown on the field at any point. Also, with the attention that is, you know, put towards him, he opens up so much more on the offense. So, you know, he's fourth in receiving yards right now. Out of all the big-time receivers, he's leading in yards per catch. He's tied for first in touchdowns. I think it's time, you don't have to agree with me that he's the best receiver, but it's time we start to say he's one of the 2, 3, 4 best receivers in football, yes.
If I gave you the Rams of the field in the NFC?
I would take the Rams right now. Okay. Yeah, I have a hard time going against it because, you know, you talked about Goff, too, and I was kind of a Goff hater. I'll admit that. Like last year when he threw 28 touchdowns and 7 interceptions, I said, most quarterbacks in football could have done that in that offense. What he's doing this year, and let's take away last week because he didn't play his best game, but he's doing this year is when plays aren't served up for him on the silver platter, he's making plays himself. And that's a big thing for me in evaluating a quarterback. You know, everybody's covered. The protection's bad. What are you going to do? Like we see an Aaron Rodgers or a Brady do every week. And he is this year made plays moving around in the pocket, made some big-time throws downfield, and you know, he's definitely improved in those areas.
Think Rodgers needs surgery on that knee?
I sure hope not. Man, I hope this bye week gets him healthy because I want to see him close to...
I just don't know if he's going to get healthy.
I know. It's hard, especially when you're asked to do everything on the team every week. I mean, there he is on one knee, second on the team in leading rushing last week again.
Why is he calling out his head coach? Why doesn't something stay quiet?
I don't know.
Does he want...
I think he wants that out there. I think he's pushing the coaches because they need new ideas in the building,
But
Dan.
why can't I just go to my head coach and say, what are we missing here? We're not on the same page here. It's like John Mara, the owner of the Giants,
right.
He has a press conference or he's being interviewed and he talks about Odell Beckham Jr. Why not go to Odell Beckham and say, I need you to be quiet. Just play. We gave you this money.
Yeah.
You know, you're our future.
Yeah.
Why does everything have to be out there in front of everybody?
Well, maybe in both cases they already did that and it just didn't get through. That's where I think of it. I mean, that's where I thought, especially with the Rodgers thing. You know, Green Bay needs new ideas in the building. They're still running the 1997 Brett Favre Green Bay. And I'm not even joking. I'm dead serious. And, you know, Joe Philbin comes back in the building this year. He's from there. It's still, they don't even know what they don't know. And I think Rodgers is saying, like, I'm watching these other offenses, and they know how to feature these guys every week, and you guys are just asking me to dance around back there and make something happen. That's our offense. And
whose career have we wasted more of, Rodgers or Brees, with not surrounding them with?
Yeah.
Now Brees has gotten two running backs.
He's got it all going now. Right.
Yeah, they got Michael Thomas, a great player, but Rodgers or Brees of not surrounding them to cash in on maybe another Super Bowl.
Yeah. I mean, you know my thoughts on Aaron Rodgers. He's the greatest quarterback I've ever seen. So I look at it like that. At least Brees has always had one of the greatest offensive minds around him, and the offense has always been given a chance. In Rodgers' case, it's just had to be him so much. There's never been a run game. There's lack of creative ideas. It's really about his physical ability. You saw some of those throws at the end of the game. It's not like the guys are wide open. You're not like, oh, wow, great play design. You're like, whoa, there's another bullseye throw 30 yards down the field on the back shoulder of a guy perfectly placed. And
so he's the most talented quarterback. He can't be the best because Brady's
amazing.
More decorated.
I get that. I just don't like that argument. I mean, yeah, okay, he's more decorated. It's a team sport.
Game on the line, one drive.
I'm taking Aaron Rodgers.
Okay. All
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Right.
No, I'm not mad. I'm not
don't
mad
have
at
to
you.
Yell at me.
No, I'm not mad at you. People think I'm a Brady hater because I say he's the third greatest quarterback of all time, and I really love Tom Brady. I would play the game like Tom Brady if I was the quarterback. That was the guy I wanted to be.
But the problem is you picked your dad as second all-time. Rodgers won, your dad.
That ruined the list.
Yeah,
that ruined the list.
Yeah.
The integrity was gone after that.
And then your younger brother is fourth on the list
Yeah,
as well.
I know. That damn bias. That Simms bias.
Great to see you, Chris. Thank you for stopping by.
Thanks for having me, man.
Pro Football Talk Live co-host Monday through Friday with Mike Florio, Bleacher Report NFL analyst and former NFL quarterback.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.